Of course, it's not just in Greece, everywhere in the world. But talking about my own case and what I am seeing nowadays, it's much more easier to be diplomat and to have a leading position, let's say, than it was 40 years ago at the moment that I started my career. Coming from a family where my mother was a lawyer, practicing this profession just after the war, I have a nice approach that everybody could succeed if he is willing to. We have a lot of ladies ambassadors, and not just ambassadors, but young diplomats, and I am very glad also to see here in MOFA nowadays a lot of director generals and deputy ministers, but many young women in the diplomatic service. It's nice to find out that if we have the opportunity to study and we have to use your own capabilities, we can succeed, never mind the sex. Because we are living in countries that are peninsulas, surrounded from the sea, but with a lot of rough mountains. So we have in the past, more obviously nowadays not anymore, isolated communities with strong bonds among the members of the community. In our case, the islands or several parts of mainland that have been isolated because of geography. But I'm feeling a lot of similarities in our mentality and a lot of similarities in our history, let's say, and concerning the geopolitical role that we are playing in our own region. I think that for young people it's necessary to have also a kind of support, health support, mental health support, if they don't have the opportunity to be talkative and to meet friends and to go outside and not to think so much. So COVID, it's obvious that deteriorate this kind of problems because nowadays young generation is facing a lot of other problems concerning the employment, concerning the competition that I just mentioned, but also the real relationship. Sometimes young people has not confidence in the future because of all these changes, because we are living in an era that we have to position ourselves again towards the principal values. We are doing well in every field concerning the bilateral relations. Why? Because we have this common understanding. We would like both countries to be useful to the international community because we are respecting same values, we are sharing same values, and we are struggling for the same purposes. And it's not just on the bilateral scene, but also in the international organizations. For example, not only the UN with the strictly political framework, but also in UNESCO concerning cultural heritage, the restitution of cultural property. You have been occupied for many years, same we have been occupied for centuries. So our property has been destroyed, damaged, and sometimes exported in a way that it was not the legal way. A lot. To start with economic relations. Why I'm starting from there? Because our political relations are very, very good. We have a traditional relationship with Koreans in the shipping industry. A lot of Greek ship owners, they are building their fleet in Korean shipyards. And a lot of money is invested in this industry from our own side. I have to attract the interest of Koreans to invest in Greece in fields that you are excelling, high-tech innovation. We could have a very nice collaboration concerning renewables, for example. Innovation is another field that I'm trying a lot to further promote your achievements and to have a nice exchange, because I believe that all that is a win-win situation. It's not just the commerce that I refer to just on the occasion of gastronomy and food, but trade could be also further promoted, and we are working hard on this. I would like to have a change of experts in order to give the opportunity to Greece also to adapt to the new era of technologies, our art scenery. Most of my interest is on the economic field, not for any other reason, but we have to fill up the gap that is existing for the time being. We are investing a lot of money in Korea, and we don't have so many investments of Koreans to Greece, although Europe is a destination for Koreans. Greece, for the time being, is not. As a person, I am much more cultural than some of my colleagues, so I'm willing to promote the Greek culture and vice versa. I know that in your National Museum you will have in June an exhibition about Greece and Rome, and I'm delighted. I already organized an exhibition last year in the Korean Foundation, and with a big success. We would like, and we are trying to find out the space for two exhibitions. One will be photo exhibition concerning the same period that you had the Korean War, concerning Greece and how Greece was looking at this period that we sent a big number of soldiers. More than 10,800 Greeks have been participating to the Korean War. And at the same period, Greece was coming out from the two world wars and a civil war. So to see how our country was looking at that period, that you had your war here, I think that could be very interesting this year, because we are celebrating the 70 years from the armistice. But what I would like is to create or to expand the institutional framework existing between both countries in order to have a collaboration among museums. We cannot export goods from our museum if we don't have a strong agreement. Even for the music, we are planning to have a piano concert. We are trying to find out where exactly could be done in order to have a lot of visibility. You have to discover, you have to find out what is suitable for yourself. For me, starting as I just mentioned, from mythology and history, I could visit Athens, because in Athens you have not the 12 gods of Olympus, but you have goddess Athena and the Parthenon in the Acropolis of Athens. You have also a lot of other sightseeing connected to the past, a huge number of astonished museums like the Acropolis Museum, the archaeological that has treasures, unique treasures for many, not just hundreds but thousands of years. And Byzantine Museum, if somebody is interested to Byzantium and to religion history, with a lot of icons, folk museums, etc., etc., etc. So to combine the archaeological site with the folkloric site that is around the Acropolis Plaka area, and to be able to live in a very live city with a nightlife. Nightlife you can find everywhere, of course, it's not just in Athens, but to be close to the sea, because Piraeus is the port of Athens, but is, let's say, two different municipalities, but without any huge distance and without any big traffic jam, and to participate on the cultural events according to the season that somebody is visiting Greece, I think that could be the first step. Islands are not so far from Athens, so why not to combine some islands? We are trying nowadays, some charters are even from January, I think that they started the charters to Athens. Later on, we hope that Korean Air, because they are examining the possibility to have a direct flight, maybe from May to September. Could be better to visit Greece in springtime. The sun is not so hot. Less people is in the touristic destinations, and in autumn also. Is the continuation of the summertime, and not so many tourists are queuing in the places that everybody would like to visit. So Korean people likes a lot these small starters that we are doing, as well as dips. So to have salad, for example, a Greek salad with tomatoes and cucumbers and feta cheese, or to have the small starters that are made from cheese. We are consuming a lot of cheese in Greece. The salad from egg fish, for example, that we are loving, is a taramas, or a lot of salads with greens. But what Koreans also are liking a lot is the famous moussaka and dolmadakia. What is dolmadakia? The wine leaves with minced meat and with egg and lemon sauce. But as these wine leaves are not existing in Korea, sometimes we are using cabbages leaf in order to prepare them. Something that is in fashion nowadays in Korea is the Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is very healthy and has the probiotics. As for you, kimchi is giving a lot of health because of these probiotics. The same thing for us, yogurt is a healthy dairy product that we are using a lot for the preparation, also for cakes. For pita. Pita is this kind of very thin bread that we are using with the vegetables in order to do several preparations. We don't have so much variety in everyday's preparation for food, but we have a healthy salad and a main dish and dessert.